You are a single speck adrift in the open ocean, smaller than a grain of rice, and almost everything around you is bigger, faster, and hungry. Level 1. Copepod. You are a copepod, a drifting crustacean no larger than a grain of sand, one of the most abundant animals on Earth and the quiet engine of the entire ocean. You hang in a shaft of blue light, feathery antennae splayed wide, sensing the water for the faint chemical trail of the algae you graze to survive. You are barely 2 millimeters long, transparent and almost weightless, drifting where the current takes you because you are far too small to swim against the open sea. What looks like a speck of dust is really the base of everything. You look like nothing, a fleck of dust in endless water, but you and your countless kind are the foundation that every larger life in the ocean is built upon. A shadow ripples above, and you fire your body backward in a burst, escaping in a fraction of a second, the fastest jump of any animal your size. You spend your life eating microscopic phytoplankton, the drifting plants that turn sunlight into food and quietly produce much of the oxygen you will never breathe. Copepods in the sea. Trillions of individuals. You are almost invisible alone, but you are never alone, because copepods may be the most numerous multicellular animals on the planet, drifting in uncountable swarms. The current carries you upward at night and down by day, a vast vertical migration you make with billions of others, the largest movement of life on Earth. You carry your eggs in twin sacs at your tail, releasing clouds of them into the water, betting on sheer numbers because almost none of your young will survive. Around you, the water thickens with tiny shrimp-like shapes, translucent and endlessly twitching, and their hunger is turned squarely on you and everything as small as you. You sense the pressure wave of something large sweeping toward you and fire your escape jump, but this time there are too many of them and nowhere left to go. One of them sweeps a basket of bristled legs through the water and you vanish into it, filtered from the sea before you can fire your escape. Level 2. KRILL. You are Antarctic krill, a finger-length crustacean swarming in numbers so vast you tint the sea red, and you feed almost every great giant above you. You hover inside a swarm that stretches for miles, your body clear as glass, and blue light passes straight through the countless bodies pressed around you. Your body glows faintly in the dark, tiny light organs sparking along your sides, a shimmer that ripples through the swarm like a living field of blue stars. Antarctic krill biomass. 400 million tons. Together, your swarms may weigh more than almost any other wild animal species on Earth. A living tonnage that anchors the whole of the Southern Ocean. You sweep phytoplankton and drifting copepods into a feeding basket of fine hairs, filtering the open sea in the very same way the giants will soon filter you. You molt your shell again and again as you grow, and in the hungry winter you can even shrink your own body back down to survive when food runs out. You are the knot that ties the whole web together, because whales, penguins, seals, and countless fish all live or die on the strength of your swarms. The swarm pulses and shifts as one great body, a defense in sheer numbers, because to a hunter this large, your single life means nothing at all. You rise toward the surface in a red tide so dense it can be seen from space, a bloom of life feeding whales, seabirds, seals, and the fish that hunt you. A wall of silver fish rises beneath your swarm, mouths already open, thousands of them driving up through your ranks and swallowing the sea as they climb. You dart sideways in a flick of your tail, a good escape for something your size, but the fish is 100 times your length and simply turns its head. A silver flash cuts through the swarm, a herring wheels with its mouth agape, and you are gone. One of thousands it strains from the water in a single pass. Level 3. Herring. You are an Atlantic herring, a hand-length silver fish, and you have traded loneliness for the school. Millions of bodies flashing as one shivering wall of light. You wheel and bank in perfect unison with the fish beside you, so tightly synced that the whole school turns like a single vast silver animal. Your mirrored sides scatter the light and confuse the eyes of hunters, so that no predator can lock onto any single fish in the shimmering mass. Fish in one herring school. Hundreds of millions in a single shoal. A single school can hold hundreds of millions of fish and stretch for miles, one of the largest gatherings of vertebrates known anywhere on the planet. You rise toward the surface at dusk to feed on drifting krill and copepods, the same small lives you now hunt to fuel your own body. You keep pace and exact body length from every neighbor, sensing their movements through a line of pressure sensors down your flank, so the school reacts before you can think. You spawn in immense numbers, laying eggs that carpet the seabed, because at every stage of your life, something is waiting to turn your abundance into its meal. The school suddenly contracts into a tight sphere, a bait ball, as attackers press in from every side, and the water fills with a silver panic. The ball spins and folds in on itself, flashing to blind the hunters, every fish fighting to reach the safe center and shove another to the deadly outer edge. Almost everything faster than you wants to eat you, from squid and mackerel to seabirds diving from above, and your only real defense is the crowd. Seabirds spear down from above, dolphins drive up from below, and the sea around you boils as the whole ocean seems to converge on your single trembling ball of fish. You hold position in the flashing wall, alive only because the fish beside you is not. Survival reduced to being a fraction faster than your neighbor. A striped shape rips through the edge of the ball in a blur, faster and hungrier than you, cutting a lane straight through where you drift. A slimmer, tiger-striped fish slashes through the bait ball at speed, jaws snapping wide, and an Atlantic mackerel takes you in one sudden darting strike from the flank. Level 4. Mackerel. You are an Atlantic mackerel, a streamlined torpedo banded with tiger stripes, built to cruise for miles and to strike into the bait balls you once hid inside. You never stop moving, driving water over your gills to breathe, part of a fast school that patrols the open sea in tight, restless silver ranks. You slash into swarms of krill and small fish, feeding hard through summer to store the fat that will carry you through the lean winter deep. Mackerel burst speed. 30 km/h. You can cruise steadily for miles and burst to more than 5 body lengths a second. Endurance and speed that keep most attackers half a beat behind you. Your back is barred with wavy black stripes, and your belly is bright silver, camouflage that hides you from above and below at the very same time. You have graduated from prey to predator, driving into the same bait balls that once hid you, snapping up young herring and sand eels on the run. But out here, speed is only ever relative, and the open water offers you nowhere to hide. No reef, no weed, only distance and other fish. What looks like a fast hunter is really someone bigger's meal. You feel fast and sharp near the surface, a hunter in your prime. But in the open blue, you are still a mouthful, a mid-sized link with far bigger jaws below. You migrate thousands of miles with your school each year, following the plankton blooms and the warming water, a small silver fish crossing an enormous ocean. The water below you dims as something large and pale begins to rise. No ordinary fish, moving with a slow, pulsing patience that raises every alarm in your body. You bolt for the surface at full burst, your best defense. But the shape below matches your turn with 10 reaching arms that unfold faster than you can climb. For all your speed, you never really escaped the food chain, only climbed one rung higher on it, and something has been climbing right behind you the whole time. From the dark below, a pale pulsing shape rises fast, 10 arms flaring open, and a Humboldt squid drags you down before your school even scatters. Level 5. Humboldt squid. You are a Humboldt squid, over a meter of muscle jetting through the twilight zone, 10 arms studded with toothed suckers, and a beak that can shear through flesh. Your skin ripples red and white in fast pulses, flashing signals to the pack of hundreds hunting beside you in the near-total dark of the deep. You rise from the depths each night to hunt lanternfish and mackerel, then jet back down by dawn, a daily migration through 1,000 feet of black water. Humboldt squid lifespan. 1-2 years. You live fast and die young, growing from a speck to a meter-long predator in barely a year, then dying only months after you first spawn. You seize prey with 2 long feeding tentacles that shoot out faster than the eye can follow, dragging your catch back to a beak that bites clean through it. What looks like a red devil is really soft, boneless, brief. Divers call you the red devil for the way you strike from the black, but you are soft, boneless, and brief, a flare of appetite that gutters out fast. You hunt in a frenzy of flashing bodies, and when a squid nearby is injured, the pack turns on it in an instant, cannibals in the cold dark. Your huge eyes gather the faintest light in the twilight zone, watching for the glow of prey and for the larger shapes that hunt you in the same darkness. You can change color in an instant, flashing from ghostly white to burning red, a strobe of confusion you throw up when a bigger predator commits to its charge. A fast, powerful shape appears at the edge of your vision, warm-blooded and relentless, and it is not confused by your flashing colors at all this time. You blast a cloud of black ink into the water and jet backward with everything you have, a trick that has saved you 100 times before now. But this hunter is faster than you and warmer than the water, closing the last of the distance in a blur while your ink still hangs uselessly behind you. A huge, deep-bodied fish charges out of the blue faster than anything should move at this size, and a yellowfin tuna swallows you nearly whole in one pass. Level 6. Yellowfin tuna. You are a yellowfin tuna, 100 kilos of living muscle and warm blood, one of the fastest hunters in the sea, sickle fins glowing gold in the light. You keep your body warmer than the water around you, so your muscles fire harder and faster than the cold-blooded fish you chase down and swallow. Yellowfin burst speed, 70+ km/h. You can hit speeds over 70 kilometers an hour in a burst, closing on squid and mackerel before they can even turn to run for the dark. You must swim without pause your whole life, forcing water over your gills, because if you ever stopped moving, you would sink into the dark and drown. You cruise the open ocean in a fast school, crossing entire seas in your lifetime, an ocean-spanning athlete with few equals in all the open water. Your body is a solid, muscular teardrop with retractable fins, every line of you shaped by evolution for one thing: raw speed across the open blue. You corral squid and mackerel into a tight ball and tear through it at speed, the hunter now that once fled from hunters exactly like you. Your speed protects you from almost everything, but not from all things, and a short list of hunters can still run you down or ambush you. You dive into cold, dark water hundreds of meters down and come back up still warm, a heat exchanger in your blood letting you hunt where most fish cannot follow. Your flesh is prized above almost any fish in the sea, which means the deadliest predator you will ever face does not swim at all, but waits with nets and lines. You join a churning frenzy at the surface where fish, birds, and mammals all tear into the same bait, a feast so wild you forget to watch your own flank. A brown torpedo shape cuts across the frenzy with startling agility, whiskered and clever, a mammal built to twist where a fish can only turn wide. You accelerate to full speed in an instant, the move that has always saved you. But this hunter anticipated your line and is already turning inside it. In a churning feeding frenzy, a sleek brown shape twists in from the side, powerful and fast, and a California sea lion seizes you by the flank. Level 7. Sea Lion. You are a California sea lion, sleek and barrel-chested, flying through the water on wing-like foreflippers, a warm-blooded hunter that must still return to the surface to breathe. You twist and roll through a bait ball with astonishing agility, snapping up fish, herding the school with your pack against the mirror of the surface. You can dive hundreds of feet and hold your breath for minutes, but your life is tied to the air above, and every hunt is a held breath. Sea Lion Dive. 270 m. You are fast and clever, but you must surface to breathe, and that moment near the top is when the shadow far below picks its instant to rise. You are warm-blooded and quick-witted, with big forward eyes and stiff whiskers that read the water, tracking a fish's trail through darkness by the swirl it leaves behind. You haul out on rocks and beaches in noisy, crowded colonies, safe on land, but the ocean is where you must feed, and the ocean is never truly safe. You play and porpoise near the surface, silhouetted against the bright ceiling of the sea, unaware that from directly below you are a dark shape on a lit screen. You spend your hunts in the sunlit shallows near shore, the richest feeding and, unknown to you, the exact hunting ground of the ocean's most feared ambush predator. Deep beneath you, out of sight in the darker water, something enormous fixes on your silhouette and begins to rise straight up, silent and terribly unhurried. What looks like a clever hunter is really a backlit target. From the surface, you are a playful, clever hunter, but from below, you are only a dark, backlit shape. The silhouette, a great white, is built to strike. You feel a sudden pressure change and a swell of water rushing up from the deep, and you turn for the surface and the safety of air with everything you have. A vast shape explodes upward from the blue at incredible speed, jaws wide, and a great white shark hits you from below with the force of a truck. Level 8. Great white shark. You are a great white shark, 5 meters of ancient perfected muscle, sensing a single drop of blood from far off and a heartbeat through the water itself. You glide up from the deep, counter-shaded dark above and pale below, nearly invisible as you rise toward a seal silhouetted against the bright surface light. Great white bite force. 18,000 newtons. Your jaws close with immense force and rows of serrated teeth, and behind you wait new teeth to replace any you lose, thousands across your life. You feel faint electric fields with special pores in your snout, sensing the twitch of a hidden muscle so no living thing can truly hide its heartbeat from you. You breach clear of the water in an ambush strike, half a ton of shark hanging in the air with a seal in your jaws before crashing back down. You patrol the coast alone, ranging across whole oceans on migrations thousands of miles long, a solitary traveler answering only to hunger and the pull of distant waters. You have ruled these waters for millions of years, older than the trees, refined by deep time into one of the most efficient hunters the ocean has made. Almost nothing in the sea can threaten you, and for a long time you believed nothing did, cruising as the undisputed lord of the cold coast. You carry the scars of old battles and the confidence of an animal that has never known a match, cruising the blue as if the whole coast belongs to you. Then a tall black fin cuts the surface, and a pod of shapes larger and smarter than you moves in with terrifying, unhurried coordination toward you. For the first time in your life, your instincts scream at you to flee, and sharks for miles around simply vanish from these waters the moment the orcas arrive. You turn to run, but they are faster, and they work as a team, one herding you while another circles beneath to cut off your escape into the deep. An orca flips you onto your back, holds you still until you go limp, and tears out your oil-rich liver with surgical precision, leaving the rest. Level 9. Orca. You are an orca, the killer whale, the apex predator of every ocean on Earth. A self-aware hunter in a family that hunts as one and never truly hunts alone. You move through the water with a 6-ton body and a brain among the largest on the planet, and nothing above you exists on the menu of the sea. Orca top speed. In a 50 km/h, you can cruise for hours and burst past 50 kilometers an hour, and your pod can run down anything in the ocean, from herring to the great whales. You hunt with your family for your entire life, and you speak in a dialect of clicks and calls unique to your pod, passed down like language across generations. Different pods hunt in ways learned from their elders, some tipping seals off ice floes with waves, others stunning fish with their tails, culture carried in the blood. You find your prey by sound, sending out clicks and reading the echoes, building a picture of the entire sea around you in the pitch black of the deep. You are the top of every chain you touch, and the animals that terrify all others are, to your pod, simply prey to be outthought and worn down. You and your pod can drown a great whale many times your size, taking turns, coordinating like a single mind spread across a dozen bodies over hours of patient work. You surface in a slow, unhurried breath, the tall fin rising and falling, a hunter so complete that no other animal has ever evolved to hunt you back. What looks like no other animal is really time, silence, and us. For all your power, your only true rivals were never other animals, but time itself, silence, and the slow emptying of the sea around you today. You have no natural predator anywhere on Earth, no animal that hunts you, no rival that can match your pod, and for millions of years that has been enough. The chemicals we pour into the sea build up in your fat, the noise of our ships drowns your calls, and the fish you need grow fewer every year. Some pods now carry so much contamination that they can no longer raise calves, and their ancient dialects are falling silent one family at a time. You are the apex of the entire ocean, feared by everything and hunting whatever you choose, and the only thing left that can truly bring you down is us.